So yeah, very happy that I'm able to present today in my function as religious heritage researcher for Visit Flanders. So Visit Flanders is one of the agencies of the Flemish government, and we have a couple of pilot sites that are heritage related in our portfolio of the Flemish government. Today I'm going to focus especially on the Abbey in Bruges, since we're with all partners from Bruges and its region. So I hope this is an inspiring case for you to develop on, knowing that I see we have many people in the audience that might be touched also by other heritage sites. Now, where to start? Actually, in the pandemic, Visit Flanders, or Tourism Flanders, as you can call it as well, is an agency that has developed a type of a philosophy that we hope to, make inspirational to people in Flanders, but also other people that come in and visit us in Flanders. We are an organization that hopes to bring these people, obviously, to Flanders through offices that we have worldwide. So in North America and Canada, but most of our offices are located in Europe, and a few offices in Asia. We're hoping, obviously, to bring people to Flanders and to our main cities, but not only. We also have projects that are actually in line with other sites that are more in the regions where these main cities are, which I will develop upon later. So this philosophy that I was talking about is a philosophy developed through pandemic, knowing that the snapshot tourists, just coming in and out, not really experiencing anything, but taking pictures. We wanted to show that we have other ideas about how they can experience our heritage, our cities, our nature sites. And so this has been entitled Travel to Tomorrow. What is the idea, really? Rather than just to focus on getting the tourists and our local tourists to come and see some of our cities and natural sites, is really to create a community, a flourishing community, and a joyful community where it's not only place for the stereotypical tourist, the visitor, but where there is a combination of entrepreneurs, residents, and local people and the visitor. So they get in touch with each other. So the sites are not mainly the pilots that I will show you are not just focusing on getting one specific visitor to the sites. So in this, the pilots that they put in place for the region of Flanders are, for a big part, heritage related. So we have the Abbey in Bruges, as you can see to your far left, which is an Abbey site, but we also have lots of castles that are in the portfolio where we are working on applying this philosophy. We have pilots that are also focusing on the nature, as I said. I will show you a couple of pictures later. So nature experiences in parks, in geoparks. But obviously sports is important. So with the cycling hub that we are developing in Oudenaarde, already a hub for cyclists, but we're going to make that a little bit bigger even. And obviously Flanders is known to have people that enjoy life and eat and drink well. So obviously that is one of the other pilots that we hope to focus on and open up in 2030. So it's the Smaakhaven, or the port of the tastes, that they are hoping to open up. So various pilots, but with always this specific philosophy that we want to put in place. So these are just a couple of visuals to give you an idea of what we have in portfolio that we are trying to develop as inspirational models for investors. So castles and as you can see also our Abbey in Bruges. our national parks, landscape parks, that we hope to open up, not just for the natural experience, but also for maybe a culinary experience, for a touristic experience, to visit some of the other sites that are in and around the parks. This is the building to the right that will open up hopefully by 2030 to host the Port of Taste, where there's also this combination of entrepreneurs, cooks, people, chefs that will show off their skills, and where you can taste things, but obviously where you also will be able to dive into the history of what we imported and exported, and what we're still importing and exporting today. For the cycling, this is the building to the right of the screen, where you can see where the cycling hub is going to be, obviously further developed. We don't do this only. There are many other facets to the work at Visit Flanders, but just to let you know that we all hope that these sites are indeed sites where we have several activities taking place, such as events and conferences as well. And this is a big part of the work that we do with Event Flanders. But now back to the case of the St. Godelieve Abbey in Bruges. In terms of the governance, we see that this is still actually in ownership of our Bruges DSC. So this will also stay this way. So that means that we as an administration are leaseholder, and that the building aspects in the renovation that takes place is shared with the Tourism Flanders, with Tourism Flanders as an agency and the Bruges Foundation. That is also the licensee for this site. This makes certain funding easier, that we are not alone in this project as well, and it can attract different types of funding. Where is this site located? Well, most of the people that know Bruges, they know where the train station is, because they mostly come by train and then walk directly straight into the city, to one of the towers of the city. Well, in this case, we hope that we can redirect a certain tourists also to come and see the St. Godelieve Abbey, turning to the left and heading to the city through the Abbey and the concert building, and then into the city center, or finishing their experience in Bruges by visiting the Godelieve Abbey, obviously at the end of the day trip, or a 2-day trip. So it's a beautiful site of 2 hectares, and what I'm going to show you is a movie, just to give you an overall idea of the proximity of the site to the historical center, the potential of really creating a space not only for the locals to enjoy the green that is in their streets, but also for tourists to really have an in-depth experience of what the life was of these these Benedictine sisters that have lived in this beautiful sites. As you can see to the left, immediately you see the towers of the city of Bruges. But the red building is the concert building, which is a very famous building, obviously, in Bruges for the concerts. It shows immediately the proximity of the site and the potential of the sites in relation to the highlights of the city of Bruges. So there is no audio in this video. I will talk over the video as I show the footage, and hope to explain how we were able to start this project in 2021. So as you can see from the bird's view of, it's a very classical setup of obviously an abbey with around a courtyard, but at both sides you see beautiful green. At one side there is the orchard with trees with fruit trees that we will come back. I will also continue to bring back to the site and try to live from that fruit and make them into jams again. But the other side is obviously a site that is also very interesting for the herbal and the flower and the vegetable productivity that was there already when the sisters were in this Benedictine convent. So the idea is to really bring 2 families back now that the sisters left the site. So there's still 2 sisters alive, but we hope to bring all the 3 families, so to say, of the intangible the movable and immovable heritage back to the site in such a way that we are respecting the spirit and the past and stories of this beautiful building. What you see here was a church, and there will be functions also for the church. But as you can see in these pictures, this was a place where lots of productivity took place in situ, and that's also what we hope to continue to show, that we can continue to create a vibrant community in that site with lots of activities that we can reproduce to make that site live on its own, and continue to produce in such a way that we respect how the site has lived before, and bring this as an inspirational an experiment and an inspiring model also to other investors that want to invest in heritage, in that could be, obviously religious heritage, it could be a castle, it could be anything, but this needs to be a pilot that shows that we can you can do differently as an investor and do this in respect with the history and the spirit of the place. The site also beholds, and we saw just a couple of pictures of the farmer house that was also on the site. It's still there. It's also one of our older farmer houses still in place. We hope to obviously also bring to life that function in the sites when we open up. So the trajectory that we walked is quite new for Visit Flanders, in the sense that we opened up in 2021 with an enormous participation of people that came to visit the sites, locals, entrepreneurs, people that were curious, experts, architects, anybody who had an interest in discovering the site had the possibility to be there from day one. So we had about 15,000 people coming over in less than a month, which is enormous, and it was a huge success, with people coming from all ages, from all backgrounds, with different specialties, and the beautiful element of this participatory trajectory was obviously the fact that we were able to ask these people what they envision for this site, since it will become available for the public. And so the surveys that took place, that you're seeing here, that are being filled out by the people in 2021, came with very tangible results as well. So we used AI-driven technology to scan all the results, and we had from these 15,000 people that came in to visit the sites, about 5,000 really interesting and applicable ideas for the sites that have then obviously been carved out into the real concrete ideas that actually continue to respect that possibility to bring back our movable, and obviously respect the immovable heritage and the intangible storytelling, the lives of these sisters that were that lived in this sites. So very inspirational trajectory of how you can really work on that flourishing community. Think of the tree, where we really hope to bring that as a central piece to our work at Visit Flanders. But from the start, we are doing this with as many people as possible. Visitors that were there in the street that could come into the site, as much as the locals from that street and that area, and the entrepreneurs, investors that want to create a rentable concept for the sites. So yes, phase 1 and 2 is now behind us, and we also moved the furniture away from the site so they could start the works in and outside of the building, and also this was done with help of the locals themselves. So quite impressive how easily you can count on the help of others, because they feel attached to a site that is in their area, in their streets. We obviously then started working with architecture offices to carve out the ideas into beautiful plans that we are at the moment executing by means of archaeological and obviously first archaeological work, and then obviously starting the real brickwork to renovate the place with as much respect to the historical situation as we found it. Yeah, so I mean, the 10 future concepts that we have now for this abbey are related to the spaces inside and outside. And so what we hope to obviously do is revive the situation outside in the orchard and in this the herbal, flower, and vegetable part of the other side of the sites. And then inside, obviously, we hope to bring artistic and cultural activities to the site in the church, but also artist residences and studio space for artists, but also for people in a private practice that want to use the sleeping cells of the sisters to bring their practice there. There is also a huge kitchen in this abbey where we hope to work with chefs that come and work around new recipes, older recipes, and also this actually connects to what I heard before, to really also work on what is present in Bruges and around Bruges in terms of ingredients. So all these different aspects we are trying to bring back to life in this abbey in respect with the aspects that were already in place and the philosophy of the place as well. So the immovable, the movable, and the intangible. So I'm going to leave it there, just so you know that we are still working on the site and trying to find ways to connect, connect with our entire community, which are not just the visitors, the tourists, but that are, is obviously a more vibrant community of taking into account the locals, the entrepreneurs, and the visitors themselves. Thank you.